we're just going to hear from them to understand what kind of work they are doing and also pledge our solidarity to Brother Kemi, Seba and Agence Pan-Africanist this evening. And first and foremost, to begin with, let me introduce you to our translator, yes, for this evening, Brother Sly. Come forward, please, Brother Sly.
Hello, good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon.
It is a real pleasure and honor to be among so many lovely Africans who care deeply about the well-being of the motherland. In this time of misinformation and distraction, it is refreshing to be surrounded by like-minded people who are aware and conscious of the urgent time in which we're in. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Sly. My full name is Mido. I am from the DRC, DR Congo, and I am also, thank you. And I am also a member of the Congolese Action Youth Platform, which is a organization that was born here in London to raise awareness about the humanitarian crisis happening in the DR Congo. We did this through lots of work of outreach in schools, university, and events like these ones. And also one of the main campaigns that we have pushed over the year is one called the Genocost. And it is about the recognition of the genocide that is currently happening in the DR Congo that is very little spoken about. And when spoken about it, this story is often mischaracterized as ethnic warfare. We think that it is very important for us as Africans, especially now in the 21st century, where we have access to information on a global scale, where we can use this wonderful tool called the internet to broadcast the truth out there, to tell our truth. For a long time, we haven't had the opportunity to do this because the media institutions were held back by colonizers. But today that we have equality on this level playing field called the internet, we really wanted to raise our voice and correct the record. And for that, I want to tell you this. What is happening in Congo at the moment and in many places in Africa is anything but ethnic warfare. To kind of give you a small background so that you get up to speed, and I won't be long. The history of the Congo has always been marked from its foundation by a brutal exploitation of Africans for their wealth. Back in the days of colonization, when the Belgian king came, the King Leopold II, the king of Belgium, and when they went to Berlin and carved out Africa in 1885 in the Berlin Conference, what many people don't know is that the Berlin Conference had three names. One of them was the Berlin Conference. The other one was the East African Conference, and the other one was the Congo Conference. And the reason why it was called the Congo Conference as well is because Congo was at the center of a potential war amongst colonial power because of its wealth. The curse of Congo, as some call it, but I choose to call it the gift of Congo, is that it has always been crucial to the world's economic and dynamic because of its wealth. Back in those days, Congo was the #1 resource of rubber and ivory and gold. But rubber, in particular, was crucial around that time because it was around the time of the automobile revolution, the automobile boom. So just think about all the buses, the cars, the tires, the bicycle that needed the rubber. Congo had a vast forest. And to exploit that rubber, King Leopold used the most brutal of techniques, which consisted in kidnapping members of villages. They would get in there, and those who could not run away, the women and the children would be kidnapped, and the men would be forced to work for a quota. And God forbid you don't meet your quota, they will chop off the hands of your children, your wife, and even your own one. It was a brutal exploitation that saw over 10 million Congolese people being killed, which was back then the equivalent of half the population. We have lost entire tribes that today we will never know even existed throughout this trade. That was the tragedy of Congo 100 years ago, and to this day, there is not a single stone, a monument, or anywhere that in Congo commemorate or establish the horror of what has happened. And there's a saying that says, if you don't know your history, if you don't know where you come from, people that don't know their history then are bound to repeat the same mistake. I can tell you that Congo is a living proof of that. So it is important for us to know our history, because 100 years on, the same story is happening, but it's no longer for rubber that we found today. No, no, no. Today, the new rubber is something called coltan. It's something called cobalt. You hear about this electronic cars that we need to do. You hear about the green revolution that we need to move on. I am not against saving the environment, brother, don't get me wrong. But at what price? At the moment, the greatest conflict the world has seen since World War II, that has killed, back in 2008, up to over 6 million people, is in DR Congo. It is one of the most underreported conflicts in the world, and it is raging as we speak right now, with children as young as 6-year-olds digging in mines so that Tesla can make you an electric car. That is the reality that is happening right now. And when it's reported on the news, they're telling you that it is this tribe. Try to fight the people of that tribe because they don't have the land. But those tribes have been living in peace for over centuries. Why did they start fighting? Is it because a multinational corporation has come and evicted people of the land? Is it because factories have been built that have polluted the water, making it undrinkable? Is it because they are no longer able to feed and proceed in the very land that their ancestors have given them because someone 10 million miles away needs to make money? That is the real tragedy of Congo that has always been. And that's why we have called it a genocide, which is a genocide perpetuated for economical gain. It is purely and simply economically driven with a racial undertone that an African life is not worth protecting. That is the campaign that we are fighting for, to get the world to know what is going on and to put an end with demand justice and reparation for everything that is going on. And so today, I'm glad to be able to be here amongst you and support the organization of Brother Kemi Seba, who has also been a big supporter of our movement, sending a solidarity message on the 2nd of August last year, when we were commemorating for the first time after 10 years of campaigning the genocide in Kinshasa, in DR Congo, with political leaders and the Minister of Human Rights saying that there will be building stones and memorial for the people that have been killed in the genocide in Congo. So today, I'm here to tell you one thing. No matter how small you are, no matter how little resources you do have the means to make a difference, because we did not have millions of dollars when you started this campaign. But today, from London here, a small group of young people have been able to change the narrative happening in the Congo. We have been able to get an entire government to acknowledge that what is happening needs to be changed, that the narrative needs to be changed, that the genocide needs to be recognized, and it needs to be called for what it is. It is economic, not tribal. So today, as you stand, know that there is power in you. Know that you can make a difference. And when you're going to be listening to the empowering word of Brother Kemi Seba about the wonderful work that he has done against the franc CFA and many other oppressive systems that's been established by neocolonial power in Africa, I want you to leave feeling empowered. I want you to leave knowing that you can make a difference. And I want you to actually join an organization if you can't make a difference by you. And if you don't have the idea, you don't have to come up with it by yourself. But there's many organizations, many people, and many wise people in this room that you can speak to and to do something that will make a long-lasting impact. Maybe not for you, but for your children and for Africa as a whole. And I want to thank you once again for your time, and I'll give back the mic to Brother Chakra.